Hi, Katie. Waiting for my co-host to arrive. I'm gonna let everybody else in. Let's see. Let's see. Seem to be having a technical issue. Let's try. All right, let's see here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Awesome. Hi, Katie. It's so good to see you. I can't hear you. You're muted if you're speaking. No, that's okay. How
There we go.
are you?
Tired. I'm still waking up.
Oh, I still can't hear you. Hang on a second. I don't know what's going on. Now it's my end. It's my end.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
AI on here too.
Phone good. Oh, that's why these aren't on.
Ellie, come
There we go. Let's admit her. Hi, puppy.
here.
Oh, now I can hear you. What is this beautiful girl or boy's name?
This is Ellie.
Hi, Ellie.
What's that? What's that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I hear people. I hear people.
Katie, how have you
Morning.
been, my friend? Good morning, Marcia.
Hi, Marsha. I'm been busy. I completed 5 courses. I think
Me
last
too.
time I talked to you, I was back in school, going back to
Yes.
school. Um, Semester starts in February, and one day at a time. Hi,
One day at a
You
time.
guys
How
hear
has
me?
it been going? Oh, I'm sorry, Marcia. Go ahead.
Marcia.
Marcia, this is Katie. We have chatted numerous times over the past few years. I helped her through some stuff that she was working through. What was that, about 2 years ago, I'd say? You were still working with that family. You were at Disney still. Are you still there?
Yeah,
Yeah. How's that going?
we actually we got a raise this past summer. I don't we there was some we almost went on strike, so that was fun.
Oh my God.
But they we got a new contract and we got a little bit better pay now and more vacation time. So
Wow.
just
Congratulations. Are you happy with the results?
I'm happier with the pay. We're still waiting on our back pay. They keep pushing that back. But
Oh,
that's gonna be a good chunk when it comes.
that'll be amazing. Congratulations to you on fighting for that and getting that. Hopefully the back pay comes through for you guys and they don't just keep postponing it and putting it off and putting it off. You guys deserve that. Um, and then you're in school right now too. Remind me what you're studying.
Early childhood development.
Love
Yes.
it.
I was so happy to see you when you had your baby. I still follow you. I haven't been able to
No
reach out
worries.
that much. But
No
I'm so
worries.
happy your baby girl is here and just
Thank
I love it.
Yes, it's so funny you say that. I thought about you right after she was born. Because I
Aw.
see when you like my stuff and you interact with my content, which is great, and I appreciate that so much. I truly want you to know I appreciate every person that likes, comments, shares, all of it. I see it and I appreciate it. And when she was born, I thought about you because I went through this weird phase of like I don't know how to do this, right? Like
Yeah.
I can be a caregiver and babysit. I worked in daycare. We've talked about this, but that feels very different than like this is mine. I'm responsible for her. I had so many questions. I was texting Marsha, mom to mom questions. What do I do? What about this? And there was a certain moment where I was just like, I kind of wish I could jump on a call with Katie or Katie was here because I feel like you have just this natural caregiver in you that helps other people who don't see the caregiver in themselves or are doubting the caregiver in themselves. You give that to somebody else and you say basically like, hey, you've got this. You can do this.
Yeah.
because you're just so natural as a caregiver. And while I feel like I could be a caregiver to other people's kids, doing it for my own was a totally different feeling I was not expecting. So know that you pop into my head quite often as I journey through this mommy track.
Oh, well, I love like all I only see your content, so I'm sure everything's beautiful at home too. I just when I saw you just like being unsure about yourself as a mommy, I was like, no, no, you got this. You totally got
Oh,
this.
thank you. I appreciate that, Katie. I appreciate that. Some days I believe it, some days I don't. I'm still working on it. It's a new hat that I'm adjusting to wearing. I've never worn a mommy hat before, so this is so new.
Oh,
But I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, so let's dive in here. Marcia, I know you had a couple of people sign up. Katie's our only person in here right now, um,
buddy.
which is so weird. I want to make you the co-host too. There we go.
Um, Katie, I love your fur babies there. I just have to say, and all the wonderful things that Miss Allison just said about you.
Oh, yeah,
A
they're
pleasure
always
meeting you.
curious of what I'm doing, so they're like, "Oh, mommy's on the call. Let's see what she's doing."
Yeah.
I have a cat that does that. Lee can attest to that.
Oh, yes. Marcia's cat joined us on multiple sessions. I worked with Marcia for
Yes.
about 2 years, almost
About
a
two
year,
years. Yeah.
about 2 years. Yeah. Coach and client. And it was an amazing relationship that was built that has blossomed into this collaboration now that Marcia owns her own coaching business.
Nice.
Um, and Marcia has a cat named Polly that would habitually on our calls, wherever Marcia was in her house, her bedroom, her office, didn't matter. Polly would come in and do exactly what your dog is doing. And like you'd see a little snoot come up, you'd see some paws. It was very sweet. I enjoy when pets join us. It's so nice. All right.
Hi.
Marcia.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
Marcia, you said you had some people signing up. Should we wait a little bit? Was Akeisha going to be joining us today?
I think she was. I will go ahead and send her a text, but I think to be, aware of Katie's time and any other participants that may join in, let's go ahead and kick off.
Yeah, let's do
Um,
it.
so if you don't mind kicking us off while I send that quick 30-second text,
Yes.
that would help me.
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Katie, if you end up just being our only one today, how blessed are we, right? That we get to share this space with
Yes.
you. You are gonna get some powerful stuff, and this is going to go obviously over the month of January. So, and we had over 10 people signed up for this, so I'm hoping more people join in as the day goes on, or even as the month goes on. We'll have more people in day 2, 3, 4, etc. Um, However, today we're going to keep it light, easy, and breezy. So I am going to share my screen. Let's see if I can do
And
this.
I'm going to jump in. We are recording. And so, for any of those who may be seeing this playback later, even though you're unable to join us in the live sessions, which we would truly appreciate you joining, so that you can get that one-on-one personal touch like Katie's going to get today. But you're still going to get the workshop, you're still going to get the supplemental materials that go with it, so that you can still take quite a bit from the workshop. But again, we're very excited to have Katie here today, and hope others can join us along the way.
Yes. Katie is starting off 2025 ready to take the bull by
Yeah.
the horns. Anything that'll help,
Action
right?
step one done. Look at that. She showed up today.
I love it. All right, Marcia, we're just going to go through this pretty seamlessly. Today is going to be pretty easy. We're going to talk about setting a goal. That's it. That's all we're going to talk about. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty stuff on day 2, day 3, and then wrap it all up on day 4. But for today, we're just going to kind of do some introductions and talk about how to properly set goals. All right. So as I said, here's what we're gonna look like today. We may not even go the full hour because we don't have everybody here with us, but that's okay. So we'll just take the time that's required of us. So we'll do a quick introduction since Katie, you kind of know me, but you're brand new to Marcia, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna let Marcia give herself an introduction. I'll give my brief introduction, and then Katie, I'd love to hear from you. Introduce yourself to us. I know we kind of just caught up a little bit, but Marcia doesn't know a lot about you, so feel free to share. And then we're going to do a goal creation, and I'm going to guide you through a visualization to help you solidify that goal. For a lot of people, setting goals and intentions can feel really weird. Like, what's a goal? What's an action step? What do I really want to work toward? What's realistic? What's too far out there? So, doing a visualization and letting your brain tell you what success can look like is what we're going to do today. So, you don't have to think about it, you just kind of know it, if that makes sense. And then we're going to talk about how to create some action steps to assist that goal, so that you can create a vision board. And I do invite everybody who's watching this back to create a vision board. It may sound corny. You may have your own limiting beliefs about vision boards, but here's the thing that a lot of people don't know. Vision boards communicate directly with your subconscious mind because your subconscious mind loves visuals. It's where your imagination lives. Um, Things like thinking of pictures and scenarios communicates to your conscious mind something that you're wanting. So it puts more power, energy, and choices into feeding that image that it sees. So it's not just a, ooh, it's pretty, it decorates my room, it's nice and colorful. Yeah, that's a piece of it, but you're communicating to your subconscious mind, this is what we want, this is what's important, and this is how we're going to get it. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Let me just see. I've got something in the chat here. Okay. Oh, Keisha's on her way. She's having trouble, so others maybe too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll let people come in. Marcia, you should have the ability to see the waiting room if anyone enters.
Okay.
So there should be a tool for you to use. I think it's under the term participants. And it pops up like the little window on the side that shows you the waiting room if anyone's coming in. So feel free to just like admit them as they come in. I am gonna check my email really quick because I did send Katie, did you get the email that I sent this morning?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you got that. You know what? We've emailed back and forth together, though. I'm wondering if, since my email was new to some people, that it went to their spam because that happens sometimes. I don't know why. So I'm going to stop my screen share really quick and I'm just going to check to see.
I did notice some of your emails went into not what's the other one called? It
Yeah,
was
like are you in Google, Katie? Like maybe like promotion socials or
yeah.
updates
I think I
versus
was
like a
emailed
Yahoo just has like a generic
yeah,
spam.
promotion
Oh, promotion.
instead of primary.
Interesting. I wonder how I fix that so that doesn't keep happening to people.
But
Sorry
I
for
know what
talking over
your
you,
email
Katie.
is. Huh?
I said sorry for talking over you there.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, you knew exactly what I was thinking. I was like, it's the other folder, but I mean, I knew Allison's email, so I just typed in her email and it pulled it up.
So
Yes.
smart, Katie. So smart. Let me see if there's a way that I can.
Keisha's saying that she's having problems with the Zoom platform. So she got the email.
Okay. You know, her Zoom might need to update or something.
Yeah,
Might be why it's given her issues. Okay. No worries. We're gonna do this. We're gonna
absolutely.
keep going, because we're meeting all month long. So I will send an email out with this replay to everybody on the list. And I'll try to configure some things in my email address, like on the back end, so that it goes directly to them. Did you guys happen to receive the email? It didn't come from, it came from First Chair. But it was a little bit more designed. Like it was the one that had the countdown at the top and it
Yeah,
had the image. You got those?
they get that one. Yes.
Marcia, you got that one too? And I had to fix it
Yes.
because the agenda link didn't actually go up. So I sent another one after that with the whoops. Let's try this again.
Yes.
You got those. Okay. I'm going
Both
to
of
try
those went
sending
to
an
the others.
perfect. Do you know if Akeisha got that one, Marcia? Either of those?
I do not, but let me check with her.
Okay. Uh,
I'm gonna let her figure out the Zoom thing first. I'll check with her after our call and circle
And
back with
yeah,
you, Allie.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right, let's just keep going then. We're just going to dive right in and people can
Yes.
watch this back. Alrighty. And I'll go back to sharing my screen. Perfect. All right, here we go. So, Katie, first thing I want you to do, and for those of you that are watching at home a little bit later, I want you to write down this affirmation. I want you to write down this affirmation. I deserve peace of mind and confidence when it comes to money. And you do. I deserve peace of mind and confidence when it comes to money. Awesome. I want you not only to have that written down, but I want you to say it to yourself every day. Every day. So put it somewhere, write it on a sticky note if you have to, write it with a wipe off marker on your mirror. Put it somewhere where you can see it and say it every single day. Another way to build that unconscious habit and to make real lasting change is through affirming the things you want to have. And it shifts your brain's focus from what you want to avoid. I want to avoid struggle. I want to avoid stress. If you think about it, you're creating more of it. And this aligns you with what you do want. It gets your mind focused on the peace of mind and the confidence that you deserve to have when it comes to money. A lot of us think that, well, the only way I'll have confidence with money is when I have more of it. But even billionaires have financial struggles. They're bigger financial struggles, they're bigger stressors, but they still have them. So having more money is not going to absolutely solve all of our problems. What is shifting our mindset around the money that we have coming in, the money that we spend, and what's going out, and believing that we have peace of mind and confidence in how we save and how we spend. Believing in that is so important to having limited stress when it comes to finances. Marsha, would you agree?
I absolutely agree. There was an article that I read about Forbes, or from Forbes, and they were talking about creating your personal budgets. And we're going to touch on this a little more in week two. But it said millionaires have budgets, billionaires have budgets. And so I think it was so profound because we often think about that limited mind space of I have to have a budget because I don't have enough versus thinking about a budget being that tool to help you have enough and to make sure that you're strategizing with your money in ways that best serve you and your goals. So I absolutely love that. And you're like snack dab nail on the head with that, Allie.
I love it. So important. Even billionaires do this stuff. Yeah. So, all right, let's just get into a quick introduction. Marsha, you kick us off. Introduce yourself to Katie and everybody else.
Absolutely. So, hi, I'm Marcia. I am a certified life coach. I also am a bookkeeper and do payroll as well. And I have my master's in accounting. So, I spent the last 10 plus years in corporate America and started working with Ali about 2 years ago. Well, 4 years ago now, I guess. And was her client for about 2 years as I went through my own self discovery. I went through that corporate burnout. I know who I was with all of the various hats. Ali, you touched on the beautiful mom hat. So I have one of those. I have three boys, a loving husband as well. So mom, wife, fur baby mom. My house is a small zoo. I feel like on days, and we've got three cats and a dog at this point. Um, but I also help with Boy Scouts. I also look for activities in my community and networking. And 2 years ago, ventured down taking the things I loved most from corporate, which was the managerial type role. But with my managing style, I found that I was more of a coach. I empower my clients, my employees to find what works for them, give them that safety note of learning from mistakes because that's unfortunately our best tool for learning. It's the hard truth, but it is. And getting the courage to succeed and try again, tweak your plan, revise it, and keep going. So coaching really gave that for me. I've put a lot of money and effort into my master's degree, and so I hated to let that go as well. And so bookkeeping was a great way for me to support other small businesses. So I do focus on that niche with my bookkeeping skills and payroll. Those tend to go hand in hand when you're a small business entrepreneur. So that's kind of how and where I am now. On my coaching side, I really help find flow. I always use the analogy of life is not a balanced set of scales that we are trying to evenly get 5 pounds and 5 pounds. That's just not how life works. As much as we all dream about it and utopiaize about it, the truth is life is more like the ocean. We are in ups and downs. There's going to be days where the tide is in, the tide is out. There's big waves, there's low waves. No waves. And so, what I help clients with is how do you ride those waves with clarity, with growth and balance to where you get to enjoy and be uplifted in the big waves, right? The surfer finding that big, perfect curved wave. Um, and then how do you recuperate when the tide is low? And you can't go surf and you can't enjoy life in the fullest that you'd like to. So that's really how I hope focus and work with clients is bringing that balance, bringing that fulfillment, and learning how to go through those ebbs and flows of life. So that's a little about me. Allie, I'd love to hear more about you. If you'd like to go ahead and share with the group.
Yeah, yeah. Marsha, thank you so much for introducing yourself. Marsha's a queen. I love her so much. And I love how she's sort of adapted this word of flow because flow is so much more, I think, of, like you said, an accurate description of what we mean when we're trying to have balance. It's never going to be equal 50-50. That was one of the biggest takeaways I've learned about marriage and relationships so far, right? Like, oh, it should be 50-50 between you and your partner or your friends or whatever. When I'm at my lows, he has to take 80%. He's got to do it. I'm struggling with a migraine. I'm busting out work. I need you to take the bigger load, vice versa. 80-20, 60-40. We find what works for us day to day, moment to moment. It always changes. It's more of a flow, right? It's more of that finding the rhythm of life. And not to use a wicked quote, but I'm going to dancing through life, right?
Love
Right.
it.
Are either of you Wicked fans?
Yes.
I am.
Yes,
Actually,
good.
my water bottle, I got for Elsa. Water bottle.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh, have you guys watched the movie yet?
Hmm.
Yes. More than once.
I just finished it last night. Oh my
Oh,
God. Bawled
So
my
you're
eyes
still
out.
like processing it all, like, right?
Oh my
Like,
God. Oh my God. Can we could spend the rest of this call talking about the talent that is Cynthia Erivo. I'm not kidding. The vocalization that she brought to Alpha. I always thought the character of Alphaba played by Idina Menzel could never be unmatched. And then I saw a couple other people play Alphaba and I was like, "Oh my God, they're just as good. This is great." Cynthia took it to a level that I was not even expecting that character could reach. Like just I obviously I'm still processing. But to get back to the point, Marsha's idea of flow and finding that ability to move with life is one of the keys not only to success in all areas of life, but really with the finances, because finances are one of those things that aren't always cut and dry. You could have a salary, you could have a contract payment plan, you could have your own business, you could make hourly wage, whatever. There's going to be inconsistency. There's going to be a month where you have to pay for more vet bills and you have to pay for more pet food, or something happens to the house you weren't expecting, or you get really sick. Those expenses are going to hit you out of nowhere, like those crushing waves or the pullback of the tide. So it's so important when you're dealing with money and finances that you know what it feels like to find the flow, the trust, the confidence, and the peace that when things get scarce and the tide pulls away, I know a big wave is coming. I know something is going to happen. Something's going to open up, right? Um, so for me, Katie, you know me, but for anybody else that's not doesn't know me and is watching later on, my name is Allison. I am a certified self-discovery coach and a board certified hypnotherapist. I specifically enjoy helping working parents helping working parents rediscover themselves and rewire their brains so work-life balance is easy. Rediscovery, and through self-discovery work is so important when we're trying to do anything in our lives. That's why I started my business is just focusing on self-discovery work with people. And I love doing self-work with people, figuring out your values, your internal blocks, your mindset. What changes can we make within, and what can we discover about ourselves that's going to pour out into our everyday life and affect all of our decisions, all of our choices, all of our behaviors. Finding who you are is incredibly powerful. Finding confidence in that, trust in that, and peace in that is so beneficial. And so I've just kind of narrowed my niche a little bit to focus on helping working parents do that because working parents are that one demographic, and I include, let me say, working parents includes the parents of four-legged critters or winged critters of any kind. You don't need to have your own offspring. Animals are family, and I think they should be dependents when it comes tax season, in all honesty. Like my cat lives here rent free and sleeps on my furniture, and what does he contribute? Nothing. Um, but still, working parents, we can lose that sense of self. We lose that sense of balance. We lose the trust. We lose the confidence. We can get really low on ourselves. And then that negatively affects our life in so many ways when we let that stress compound. So, doing self work and rewiring your brain to acknowledge what work-life balance looks like for me. For me, not for them, not for the mom over there who has six kids, not for the couple over there who's got four dogs, not for the girl who lives alone and works really freaking hard and is a caregiver to her nana. You. Work-life balance, success in life. What does it look like for you? Figuring that out, discovering it, and how to get it. That's what I love to help people do. Um, so yeah, that's me and Marsha. We're so excited to bring you this workshop for the month of January. Um, Marsha is going to be focusing on day two on the budgeting, the nitty-gritty, what I like to call like the tangible things that you can do, spreadsheets, envelopes, different things that you can do to budget and save your money and spend your money better. I'm going to focus on the brain component, the mindset shifting, the awareness that you have around your money so that you come from a place of confidence instead of a place of lack. So for today, what we're going to do is focus on creating a goal or intention. Marsha, I didn't get a chance to talk about this with you beforehand, but are you cool if I kind of take day one and run through it, and then you'll do day two, I'll do three, and then you could wrap us up on four? Cool?
It sounds like a great plan, Allie.
Awesome. All right. Just want to make sure you're on board. So we're going to create a goal or an intention. Katie, the way you're going to do that is you're going to share what's your biggest financial struggle. If there's more than one, feel free to write a list. But we're going to start with your biggest financial struggle. What would you say that is?
My biggest financial struggle right now is a credit card debt.
Credit card
Um,
debt. Love it.
so
Same, Katie, same.
it's something I've tried working on up and just off and on, and it's something that I've tackled and like gotten close to handling, and then it gets out of control again. Like you said, there's our pets, like something happened with them or something with the car. My husband has been very supportive of me and helping me when I am struggling financially, but I that credit card debt is mine alone to tackle. Um, and it's just like it's a mentality thing. Like I'm trying to feel better, or like I'm stressed, or just trying to get through the day, and I just get like the extra food or the coffee or like even just some makeup I saw on TikTok.
Mm,
I'm trying to feel better about myself, and I end up spending things I shouldn't. That's where most of the debt comes from.
yeah. Can I ask a question, Katie?
Mhm.
How long does it take before you notice, like, oh, probably shouldn't have made that purchase?
It kind of ranges. It depends on the on what it is.
Yeah.
Um, if it's makeup, I usually will realize within a couple days, like, yeah, I have something similar already. I'll take it back. I'll be able to take it back. But like stuff for the dogs, it's one time purchase. I should have maybe held off on it, but I don't know. It really depends on the thing.
Sure. Of course. Yeah. The reason I ask is because it's that behavior afterwards when we have the awareness and we realize, ooh, I just spent money and swiped my credit card when I'm trying to pay off this debt on makeup, right? And then it hits us later when we're going through our makeup drawers like, oh, I have three eyeshadow palettes that are very similar to this already. Maybe I didn't need that one. Marsha, you just talked about this regarding like a makeup, something that you purchased, and you were like, I own three of these. Why did I buy another one? Didn't you? You just had this the other
Yeah,
day.
it's part of my no spend goal. Have you heard of the no spend concept, Katie? It's kind of viral right now.
Uh-uh.
So the idea is to help you cut or reduce some of that frivolous spend. So one of my no spend goals was I'm not going to allow myself to buy makeup. I'm a makeup junkie too. I'm like, shiny thing.
It's fine.
And or like, oh, this one will look better with my complex, or oh, my skin's changing, right? Insert reason here. But it is, I will not buy something new unless I am completely out of that product.
Mm.
So let's say I use the example of blush. Oh, I like that shade of peachy blush and it's winter, so a peachy blush looks good in the winter. But I have blush. I have 10 other shades of blush. I don't need the new peachy blush. I need to use what I have. I can color blend to make custom shades out of that. So no, I won't invest in more money in that. And that will help me towards my goal of paying off my credit card debt. Because I kind of have a similar pattern there, Katie, in that, oh yeah, I'm just gonna swipe that coffee here or buy that here. And then I get the statement and I'm like, oh, I look at that interest. And I'm like, that was paid three times as much for that cup of coffee that I could have made a pot worth at home. Um, but there's also something to be said of, treating yourself and bringing balance. So my coffee runs, I said I'm going to limit one out external coffee run every 2 weeks. So I'm cutting back. I'm not going to allow myself 3 and 4 times a week. As someone who works from home, it can be very easy for me to fall in the trap of like, when's the last time I left my house?
Yeah.
So sometimes that coffee run is my like push me out of the nest, out of my own nest and get me out of the house and breathe. Um, and so then I start to use as an excuse. Oh, I need out of the house. That means coffee run. And then, you start swiping and you're not paying that off versus, that balance. So no spend, those are two of my goals. One of the freebies that we'll give at the end of we're doing it day 2, or we're going to do the freebies at the end of the workshop, Allie? Keep me honest there.
I think we're going to do it each day because I have some freebies to give away today too. So I
Awesome.
think as they
Okay.
correlate to each day, we'll send them out.
Thank you. So the end of day 2, I'm going to give out a no spend guide along with a pen and paper type budget for you. And then during the workshop, you'll get an electronic copy as well. That's a little different format. And we'll talk more about that. But that concept of helping you be aware and the no spend thing was something that I really like. I saw it and I was like, okay, I could very easily see myself breaking some of those shiny object patterns by being aware of that no spend. So I'm happy to explain that more or talk a little more in depth if we've got time. But I want to be able to get through the agenda for today.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad you brought up the no spend thing, Marcia. And she is going to go into that further on day 2, which will be great. We talked about it a little bit on our live last week. I've also created my own no spend list, and it's powerful to do. Just having the ability to sit down and be like, all right, what have I been spending my money on that is really obsolete? It doesn't feed a purpose, it doesn't feed a need, it doesn't feed myself, right? Um, what can I let go of? What am I willing to say, you know what? We don't need that. A lot of mine, Marsha, were subscriptions. I did not know I had so many subscriptions to audiobooks, Pandora, Spotify, that was just taking like 12.99, 5.99. It adds up. So sometimes those little shifts and changes can make a huge difference in how much money you have and how far it goes. Okay, so Katie, your biggest financial struggle is credit card debt. It gets out of control. You spend on little things here and there, then you get the statement and you're like, oh my God, I made all this progress paying off the debt, and then you kind of see it fall back a little bit, is what I was hearing you say, correct?
Yeah. And a
Yeah.
lot of it's the FOMO feeling too. Like you're gonna miss out
Yeah.
if you don't get it that second.
Oh, yes.
Like
FOMO. Okay.
Joe was
So here's
talking
what I
about.
want to say about that. Yeah, yeah. I think we all feel that a little bit. Um, Something that came to my mind while you were talking about it, Marcia sort of said it, you'll always find a reason. We will always find a reason to swipe that card, to make that purchase. We will tell ourselves anything to make it sound just worthwhile or justified. Um, because it's feeding an actual deeper purpose, the deeper root cause of that behavior of swiping the card, of pay now, add to cart, buy now, simple, just right? First of all, it's been made so much easier. There's not a lot of hoops you have to jump through. So click, done. It's being shipped to your house. There's not a lot of work put into it. It's easy. Your brain loves easy. But also, as you've already discovered, it's the behavior of swiping the card and continuing to go into debt with your credit card is feeding a deeper psychological purpose. You said the word comfort. There's a comfort that comes from just like, I got that thing. That makes me feel better. FOMO, that fear of missing out. Well, I'm afraid if I don't get it, then everybody else is going to have it and I'm not going to know what they're talking about. And I'm not going to be in and cool and hip and understand, right? So, one of the things we're going to do on week 3 is look at the deep rooted connections we have with whatever our struggle is that's keeping us from achieving our goal. So, we're going to look at why does my brain always find a reason to buy that coffee? As Marcia said, it gets me out of the house. Well, what can you do and get yourself out of the house that doesn't involve spending money? How can you take that break but not swipe your card? Right? What are some things you could do? Thinking like going to the park, going for a bike ride, going for a walk, free things like go sit in a cafe. Don't buy a coffee. Bring your own little thermos of coffee from home and work at a cafe and, whatever. Find something that works that doesn't go against your goal. So Katie, anything else you want to add to this financial struggle of credit card debt?
Um, this like you were kind of saying with subscriptions. I feel like I don't spend that much per month on subscriptions. But like I notice like Apple has tacked on a couple things and just like here and there. Um, but like at the same time, like I go back to my bank account and I'm like, why do I not have more in my account right now? I don't understand. And
Mhm.
it'll tell me like how I did on my spending. And just like with how much each month, it's like it's ridiculous because I do make a good bit actually from Disney now. And just like I'm not able to spend it. Um, and the other thing is like my car takes a big chunk too, but at the same time it's saving me money because it's an electric hybrid. But for
Oh,
so it's just like I don't think trading it or getting something different would help. So I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no, that makes so much sense. What kind of stuff are you charging for your card? Is it taking a lot of maintenance? Does it require, like, what specifically are you charging for your car?
my monthly payment is 688, and
Okay.
then my insurance went down this month. But my windshield's cracked. I still haven't gotten it fixed because I have to pay a $500 deductible to get it fixed. Um,
Oh,
but it's like that thing, like I'm pushing things back that I need to get done because it's a big chunk.
Yeah.
And then just like the credit card makes it easy because some of them I get money back
yeah,
rather than spending that big chunk out of my account. But if I
yeah,
don't remember to just pay it from my account,
Yeah.
it can get
yeah,
the interest, like you said.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. It's there's a list of things. I actually looked at everything last night. Because I there was a budget TikTok I was following last night before bed. And I was like, okay, let me look at this and look at this. And it's like, where does this money go? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yes. Where does the money go? I feel that. Marcia, I know you feel that. She has
Yes.
some amazing tips she's going to give you on day 2 to see where is your money going. Break it all down. Is it in subscriptions? Is it in monthly payments for the car and the this and the that? Is it making sense given the income you have and what you're spending? Is there a discrepancy somewhere? Lay it all out. Something that I know a lot of people struggle with too is like just that. The act of sitting with all my finances, my receipts, my statements, my this, my that, my paycheck, it's overwhelming. It's a lot. And you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna do this tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes, right? So we'll talk about ways to kind of overcome that too and just get her done because it ends up giving you more of a benefit than putting it off. Okay, so for right now, we're going to focus on this struggle that you have, Katie, that you are living. Credit card debt gets out of control. You make a little bit of progress and then something happens, car payment, vet bills, whatever. Um, how often would you say you use your card on other spend expenses, like coffee,
Um,
makeup, things like that?
I try not to use my credit cards on small purchases like that. Um, the when I have to use the toll roads to get to work on time, I maybe will use that once a week, and the tolls are like between $3 to $7.
Not bad.
Um, that gets put on my credit card, just for it being easy. Um, like if we need new furniture, we actually just got a new couch because this was marked down at IKEA, and me and my husband went halvesies on it. Um,
Nice.
but wait, get down. Yeah. Just like maybe once a month there will be a big purchase of some kind. Definitely we had to take her to the vet because she's been having skin problems and ear problems,
Oh,
and it's just causing
Ella.
some behaviors that we don't like. Yes, I know.
Oh,
Oh,
but mommy, I'm so cute. Look at me.
I
right?
know. So yeah, but
Oh my
But
God.
that can get
we're
expensive, right? Like, and it builds stress because you're wanting to help your fur baby. You're trying to figure out what's going on with the skin, especially if you haven't done something like change their diet.
Oh yeah.
So is it, something in the yard? Is it something in the house? Is it that the food formula changed? I've been there, Katie, and I know how frustrating that can be. Um, we got to a point where every time we went to the vet, our vet was like, "What's going on with her fur?"
yeah.
And we're like, "Yeah." And then it got to the point where like, "Oh yeah, we remember now." And I'm like,
Yeah.
instant shame. I'm like, no, I'm trying. Like, I make her food, we do all the things. But it can be very like the wheel never breaks, right? Like, you don't see the end of that tunnel and trying to figure out new habits and patterns so that you can overcome that or that you can support that new, right? Like, maybe it's an allergen food that you have to move to, or, a medication, something like that, that increases your monthly spend that you're going to have to look where can I save other places to afford this, or what can I do to bump my income in different ways so that I can work on that. So you're not alone there. It can be very frustrating at those times on top of all of the emotional items like that you said that's your baby, and so you want your baby to feel well, and then to add that financial burden side of things of how you're going to support that can just compound that
Yep.
struggle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So here's what we're going to do, Katie. I am going to walk you through a visualization. This is going to be super quick, super easy. I'm going to guide you through a visualization so you can see your life and imagine it without this struggle. I want you to imagine your life without this struggle. You have overcome the debt. You have paid it off to at least bringing it to an amount and a balance that feels more swallowable, doable, handleable, right? Um, for me, I like to keep my balance between 2,500 to 5 grand. Like that feels a little bit, I can handle that. I can pay that off. It's not a big deal. When it gets over 7, 8, 9, 10 grand is my balance. Oh my God. Didn't know my credit went up that high. This is really crazy. Now I feel like I'm out of control, right? So I want you to visualize whatever brings you that peace of mind. Is it a lower number on that balance? Is it a complete zero? You've completely paid it off. There is no debt. What does it look like when you've overcome this credit card debt struggle? So that's what we're going to visualize right now, and I'm going to help you do that, okay? All right. And for those of you who are watching at home, my verbiage may be more aligned with Katie's specific struggle that we've talked about today, but I want you to take what you hear and apply it to your situation. All we're doing here, you guys, is imagining yourself having overcome that struggle already. It's no longer a problem for you. It is something you no longer worry about, whatever it is. Is it debt? Is it saving for the future? Is it inconsistent income? Whatever your struggle is with money and finances, imagine having already overcome that. All right. Okay, so when you're ready, Katie, go ahead and close your eyes. And Marcia, feel free to join us. Close those eyes, take in this visualization. And when you're ready, get into a comfortable position and take a deep breath.
Both of you go. You're stressors. Go, 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 go.
I love that.
Just-
Put a wall of pillows. There you go. That works. Yeah. All right, get comfy and close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel your shoulders relax. Know that you're in the right space at the right time, right where you need to be right now. Take another deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel your body sink deeper into wherever you're seated as your body relaxes deeper and deeper. And let any noise you hear relax you. If you can hear the buzz of your home, it sinks you deeper into relaxation. If you can hear your pets making noise, let that noise sink you deeper into relaxation. If you can hear a fan blowing, that noise sinks you deeper into relaxation. Into a place where you can easily visualize now overcoming any and all financial struggles. You can see yourself living a debt-free life. Notice where you swipe that credit card and where you don't. See yourself budgeting your money differently, knowing how much money you have, and easily being able to decide what you will use it for. See yourself making purchases that fit your budget. See yourself feeling confident with your ability to pay off debt. You've overcome this struggle already. Visualize yourself living the life of confidence and peace with your money because you trust yourself. You trust your choices. You trust your ability to save and spend with ease. Imagine yourself at the end of 2025. You've gotten your debt to a manageable state. if not manageable, completely gone. And the money you have coming in flows to you effortlessly, abundantly, and with organization. You clearly see what you have, what you do, and what you spend your money on. Visualize the organization you have built to track your money. See yourself feeling confident in that tracking system because it works for you, because you've created it. Visualize yourself making purchases that fill you with joy instead of dread and fear. You are filled with abundance, confidence, and peace with the way you manage money. See yourself fully living an abundant life. Notice how happy you are. You can even see a smile come across your face because for this past year, you have taken the steps that have been easy for you to take to get you to this place where you no longer are buried under debt because you make smart, calculated, confident decisions with your money now. And because you know you deserve peace of mind and confidence when it comes to money, you can see yourself now living that peace, living that confidence, feeling comfortable and balanced with your money. Notice as you visualize yourself a year from now, living debt free and organized. Notice where your money goes and where it doesn't. What things are of high value to you that you do spend money on? And what things do you no longer spend money on? Just notice how differently you are managing your money. And notice how good it feels to have this control and confidence with your money. And when that feels complete and you've seen yourself having overcome this struggle, you can come back into your body, feeling into your seat, becoming aware of the room around you as you open your eyes and come back into the moment. Beautiful. How we doing, ladies? You can just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, awesome. You probably feel really relaxed right now. You might want to take a nap. I usually do after I visualize. Katie, would you like to share anything that came forward for you in that exercise?
Um, I was really trying to focus on your voice and trying you guys, you're hard. Like my husband was trying to help
Oh,
corral them. What's been allowed to be tappy happening. Um,
yes.
this is Just I'm not that good at at trying to what's it called? Um
Visualizations?
not it's kind of like visualizations, but like it's a meditation.
Meditation.
I have a
Yes.
hard time blocking
Yeah.
everything out.
Yeah. Here's a key for you, something that a meditation teacher taught me. When you're trying to do visualizations or meditations, anything like that, where you're trying to reach like that peaceful, relaxed state and then do something with it, a lot of us think we have to drown it out, right? Like, forget it's there. You should reach this oasis where you hear nothing, experience an absent. No. No, 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 no. That's not what you're supposed to experience. You're supposed to hear everything. You're supposed to hear the dogs next to you and the trash truck outside and your laptop fan going, whatever. And the key is to let those things send you deeper into relaxation. Focus on them so much that you are no longer like triggered by them, if that makes sense. Like, let me think of an example. Um, Okay, I have a perfect one for you, Katie. You work at Disney World, Disneyland, right? Yeah. There is constantly music playing at Disneyland, isn't there? Like, depending on which part of the park, like there's music playing almost all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. When you're there for 8 hours a day, are you listening to the nuances of that song and the lyrics and the melody, or are you kind of like it's there, but you're kind of tuning it out? You're just doing your job.
Sometimes, at Star Tours at the exit, or at least in the hallways, you can really hear the Star Wars anthem like round the clock.
Yeah.
And I always have
Yeah.
guests like, "Don't you get sick of that?" And it's like, no, it's like everyday music now. It's
Yeah,
just normal.
exactly. Yes, it's become normal for you. So when we try to do a visualization or a meditation, I want you to think of it that way. We're not supposed to drown out and ignore these things. If anything, get hyper aware of it. If you can hear your dogs like licking each other, that for some reason our dogs do at 3 o'clock in the morning and lick all of their body parts, like, and it's the loudest thing ever, always. Like you're swearing someone has a microphone just right there and earphones on you because it's just so loud. In Instead of trying to ignore it, or instead of trying to be like, oh my God, I don't want to focus on that. Okay, if that's what you're focusing on, go into it. How often is she licking? Does it sound wet? Does it sound dry? Focus on it. Let it become hypnotic. Let it become almost this thing that your brain focuses on to get itself into a deeper state of relaxation. Um, so, and there's no wrong way to do meditation or visualizations. If you're sitting and taking a deep breath, I just meditated. Look how fancy I am. Oh, toss, toss, as Glinda says. Yeah, it's toss, toss. Um, Meditation does not need to be this scary thing that you reach this place of ethereal. No. Meditation is a moment of mindfulness. It's a tool. It's a moment of mindfulness. Be mindful. So when we do a visualization, I'm helping you to get mindful. A lot of us like to listen to our heartbeat or feel our breath, right? That can be something that gets us nice and relaxed. Whatever relaxes you, get there. I'm going to invite you to think about this visualization later today, even. You don't even have to be in a relaxed state of awareness, Katie. Use your imagination. When you imagine yourself living debt free, what does that look like? What are you doing? What are you spending money on and what aren't you spending money on? How happy are you? What are you doing with your time? Write it down if that's easier for you, right? If getting visual, some people have oh, I can think of the word. It's where people can't make strong mental pictures in their head. I can't remember the name of it right now. But some people really struggle with like, am I supposed to see an apple? What's happening? It's just black. I don't see anything. Yeah. Yeah, Marcia, you got that. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So write it down. You don't have to mentally visualize it. If that's not a strong representation system for your brain, that's okay. Write it down. When I think of myself living debt free, And then boom, let your imagination run wild. Just like you did when you were a kid playing on the playground and you found that one little girl and you were like, oh my God, she has the same dolly that I do. And you'd go over there and you'd talk to her. And then you'd be like, hey, you want to be friends for the next 30 minutes before our moms, tell us it's time to go? And or Katie, you work with kids, so even if you can't remember from your childhood, like I know you've seen little kids like make a friend on the playground and play pretend, and they just go, "Pretend your doll is a princess and mine's the evil. Oh, and pretend this." There's no rules. There's no book that's laying out there for them to read and go, "Okay, we're supposed to do this now." Use that same tool, your imagination that you've used millions of times before in your life, to imagine your life when you overcome this struggle with debt and get super specific with it, get detailed with it. So that's what's going to lead me to the next slide here. You know what your goal is because you just saw it, or as you're going to do, Katie, you're going to write it down and you're going to get super specific with it. So I've given an example here. And this is my personal struggle that I have. Inconsistent income makes saving for the future difficult. As a coach, I see some months that are really great, and then I'll have like, I was just on maternity leave and I was pregnant. So I didn't sign any clients last year towards the end of my pregnancy because I didn't want to start packages with someone for 6 months when I'd be gone. And then I didn't start signing clients again until June of this past year. So I've seen a big shift in my income over the last year. There's been a definite decrease. That inconsistency makes it really hard for me to save for future vacations, my daughter's college fund or whatever fund. Anything future does not seem financially realistic to me because the money that I have coming in between me and my husband now is going towards now purchases, our mortgage, our utilities, our pets, our health. That's it. Um, so that was my struggle. I visualized myself, or what I would do, Katie, if I were you, is I would write down, um, you know, what do I see? Or what is it going to look like when I have consistent income and I can save for the future? Notice my words too. What is it going to look like when I have, making it an absolute current moment, I have consistent income and I can save for the future? Not I will, not I'm going to, I am right now. It's happening. I have it, right? Use those words. What is that going to look like? Oh, well, that's going to look like I have more, I'm placing more focus and energy into marketing my services and signing more clients so I can see myself making social media content regularly, consistently. I can see myself doing workshops in my community, not just virtually with people, but like at my local library. I can see myself finding opportunities to work with people one-on-one in my community. I can see myself doing more online workshops, exploring more social media platforms to hit more of an audience. Those things then lead, I can see myself then signing more clients, having my calendar be full of intro sessions and clients re-signing. So these are all the things that I would get out of a visualization, or I can put into a list like you can, Katie. And then that's what gave me my goal of I will sign 10 to 15 new clients this year and re-sign all my current clients. Does it help me overcome that struggle? Inconsistent income makes saving for the future difficult? Yes. Because this goal of I will sign 10 to 15 new clients gives me consistent income through 2025. And if I re-sign all my clients that I currently have too, that gives me, I think I broke this down, like 2 to 3 clients a month that are new that I'll sign on top of the current clients that I have that I'm gonna have the goal to re-sign. That'll be consistent then for 2025. I will always have income, new income coming in each month. So that's how the visualization component and thinking about the end goal, think about already overcoming your struggle. Think about not living in that debt. That balance is zero. Your statements come in and you're like, I don't even need to open that piece of mail because I know there's not going to be anything on it. See yourself having abundance of money because you've been properly budgeting and you've been saving and not spending on little things here and there. And oh my God, you and your husband have enough money to get another new piece of furniture. And it's not gonna make you feel, oh my God, I can't believe we just spent that much money on a piece of, like, you're gonna be like, we fucking did that. And yeah, and we're not broke and we're not in debt. Like, we got this. So think about all those things, those good things that are going to come from you overcoming this struggle of credit card debt getting out of hand. Does that make sense, Katie?
Yeah. Like
Awesome.
break
Do you have
it
any
down.
questions? Oh, say that again. I'm sorry.
Also break it down more into small pieces, gradually going to that goal.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So your goal is the opposite of whatever your struggle is, basically. If your struggle is credit card debt, your goal is not having credit card debt. And I want to preface this with we're making this for anyone that's watching at home too. This should be a year-long goal. We want to give it a timeline. Timelines aren't there to scare you or in and what's the word? Not anticipate you, scare you and
Anxiety.
intimidate. Intimidate. Yes. It's not there to intimidate you. It's there to use as a tracker so that by the end of 2025, you can see, like, all right, I've made a little progress on this. I'm going to keep going into 2026. Or, wow, I've made a ton of progress. This goal feels complete. I'm going to create a new one. So it's not there to scare you. It's there to help you as like a tracking point, to know what you're working towards. So, Katie, for you, your goal sounds like it would be um, at the end of 2025, I will have, you get to decide, lowered my debt, removed my debt, paid off X amount of dollars on my debt. Is there one credit card in particular that's like got the biggest balance that by the end of 2025, I'll have that one paid off, right? Or maybe it's a culmination. You get to decide what feels right for you. But your goal is whatever is the opposite of your struggle. You're struggling with credit card debt. Your goal should be something around managing that debt, overcoming that debt on a specific card. And this is where the details get specific. Is it a card? Is it all the debt? Is there student loan debt packed in there? Is there anything else? Like you get to figure out the pieces of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So once you have your goal figured out, take your time with this. My goal, as I said in the example, is I will sign 10 to 15 new clients this year and re-sign all current clients so saving for the future is easier. This is by the end of 2025. You have to create action steps now. You got to know what steps you are going to take to get to that goal, to make it happen. Because if we're just sitting there and we say, hey, I want to lose weight in 2025, and we're just expecting the weight to naturally just fall off, it's not going to happen. We're going to reach the end of the year and be like, oh my God, nothing happened. We got to take some action. So make sure your action steps are listed out. For me, with this goal that I have, my action steps are going to be post content on social media 3 times a day, host 4 workshops total in 2025, review social media techniques and tips for sales to increase. Like, is there something I can change to my social media content to reach more people, to get more people to sign up? What changes can I make to that? Host 2 public events at my public library. These are the action steps that I'm going to take. So, Katie, some of yours might sound like creating a spreadsheet or a budget from Marsha's week 2 conversation. It might be, this is a weird one, but my grandma used to do this. Maybe this is a dated one. She used to put her credit card that she had too high a balance on in a bowl of water in like a Ziploc container that was filled with water, stick it in there, and then stick that in the freezer. And she would bury it in the back and she would hide like vegetables and boxes of stuff behind it and it'd be back there. It removed the temptation from her just easily swipe, 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 swipe. And my grandpa was getting pissed at her, like, damn it, Janet, you're spending that card too much. And she knew she had to stop. That was the only way she could think of. I think she heard it at like her bridge club or something. So one of her friends told her to freeze your card. So she would literally freeze her card, put it in the freezer, and that would give her a few months where she would completely forgot about it. The pull to swipe was gone, right? Because she didn't have it in her wallet. So, what are those action steps going to look like for you? Is it going to be freeze your card, literally put it in the freezer, get rid of it, get it out of your wallet? Is it going to be setting a budget for yourself? So, all right, in a week, I'm only going to spend X amount of dollars with this card. I'll only charge X amount of dollars. Because, like you said, maybe there are some things that that card is currently paying off your, car payment, or it's for vet emergencies. I use my credit card for co-payments for therapy calls, doctor's office appointments, things like that. If you still need to use the card, maybe one of your action steps is simply creating a budget for yourself for that card. Only X amount of purchases for the month. I can only spend $600 or whatever my car payment is. So really think about those action steps that you can take this year that are going to make it easy for you to reach that goal of being debt free or at least managing your debt a little bit better. Any questions?
No.
I just want
Awesome.
to
All right.
add, Allie, so going on the concept of the freezing the credit card, one thing that I did to help take away that credit card temptation is I actually went through and deleted it. I deleted it from my Amazon wallet. I deleted it from my PayPal wallet. I deleted the ways that I was able to easily go click add to cart done. Because while that worked in your grandma's era, we are now in a very, it's on my iPhone. I tap to pay. I add to cart. It was already in my wallet. And so those can become, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a text from my husband going, I got something on Amazon and I accidentally used your card. Just a heads up when you see the charge.
Yeah.
Just so I'm not looking at it going like, well, what is that?
Yes.
Um, but it becomes very easy to accidentally do it or know that you're intentionally doing it. So doing simple things like that. And then Allie, I loved that you said create that credit card budget for those things. Katie, I think you also said your tolls go on that. So what is your toll budget for the month? You're going to allow that $100 a month for that toll pass versus, the extra makeup items.
Mhm.
And using it in those capacities, or maybe it is carrying that physical card for the things that you have allocated, or link them to the things that you have allocated in that budget, but removing that temptation and the ease of it, to Allie's point of freezing it. But that's what it could look like in how we operate today with our money.
Yeah. Yeah. Really good point there, Marcia, of how easy it is to, we've got cards linked to everything, all these different accounts, all these different apps. I've got a card linked to TikTok because of TikTok Shop. What? Like, I didn't need to do that. I shouldn't have done that. I didn't need to because now it's super easy for me to go buy now and it's shipped to my house. So yeah, Katie, maybe that's one of your action steps, finding all the different apps and programs and things on your phone that have your credit card information. And maybe like if you know that's where you make a lot of impulse purchases is on Amazon. Amazon's ours. And I've had this situation with my husband where he's like, oops, I used your card. So maybe it's about like, okay, delete the app or disconnect your card from the account. Maybe put a card on there if you still want to make purchases that just has a smaller credit line available or something. So you have that limit right there. I can't exceed $300, whatever. Um, so think about those action steps and write them down somewhere. Your goal, your action step. I'm going to give you a worksheet too that'll help you do this.
Okay.
Um, and then this is the last step. I like to invite people to do these, but I know, like we've talked about, vision boards are one of those like, oh, it doesn't really do anything. It does. It does a lot. So think about making a vision board for yourself with pictures depicting you being successful after completing your goal, living a life of debt free. Use magazine clippings, but you can that's the classic way to do it, right? Is get a ton of magazines, clip out pictures of someone laughing with a suitcase of money, you know, dollar bills everywhere. Maybe it's a picture of someone in like a fancy suit that you really admire. You get to decide, but a vision board's purpose is to visualize the thing you're working towards as a not only a reminder to your conscious brain, this is what I'm working towards, but your subconscious brain as well, saying this is of value. This is important. This is not something I'm willing to let go of or let slide by. Your subconscious mind operates on what is most important for you, what is most healthy for you, what is most important for your survival. And if you're telling yourself, I need this makeup to survive, then there's that behavior. There's that swiping of the card. There's that tap now. I need this coffee because it gets me out of the house and I'm going to lose my mind if I don't leave the house. There's that need for it. So create a vision board, visualizing yourself not needing to spend that money all the time, not needing to swipe that card. You can do this the old-fashioned way with a collage, but another worksheet I'm going to send you is going to break down some other ways to do a vision board. Pinterest is a great way to do digital vision boards. Find some Google images, some clip art, create a Pinterest for my 2025 vision board debt-free goal, right? And put links in there about debt-free tips and tricks and all the things, create whatever you want. Another way to do it is if you don't want to do like magazine clippings, if you don't want to do a digital one, you can use just pictures of yourself, your family, your friends. If you have pictures on your phone of people who you know live a debt-free life or they have their finances under control, are they a person of inspiration to you? Use that person to inspire you to reach your goal and create a vision board from that. Trying to think what were some other ones I have on that list. Let me stop sharing my screen really quick. That was the end of the slides anyway for this week. Let me just see where my list went.
Someone's at the front door.
Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Someone's at my front door.
Is it
Oh.
at your front door?
Apparently. Apparently. Oh, it's the mailman. We'll see what the mailman wants. Um, let's see, where did it go? There it is. So classic collage, digital vision board, save it to your wallpaper too. Create a digital one on Pinterest or create a collage of pictures and then make it your wallpaper on your phone. You see it every single day. There's that inspiration. There's that visual and mental reminder that this is what I'm working towards. That's a great one if your debt is one of the things that you're working on overcoming. Because if you make a lot of your purchases right here, buy now, Amazon, TikTok shop, whatever, if your wallpaper is pictures of zero balances, money, organized living, you with a smile on your face, feeling happy, you just bought this new couch and you're not putting yourself in debt, right? Whatever. What a reminder that would be in those moments to stop you from pushing buy now and instead being able to go, you know what? That's more important. I don't need that right now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. What are some other ones? Let's see. Manifestation journal. If you're not big on pictures and collages and things like that, create a vision journal. It's just what we've talked about earlier. Instead of closing your eyes, trying to meditate and visualize something in your mind's eye, just play the imagination game. What is it going to look like when I'm no longer debt free? What am I going to be doing with my time? Who am I going to be hanging out with? Maybe you'll be hanging out with more people. What will I be spending my money on? How different will I feel when I spend money? Where will I be going? What won't I be spending money on? These are all things that you can ask yourself and let your mind fill in that picture. So, Katie, if I were you and I were thinking about living debt free, I'd think about, oh, well, when I'm debt free, I'll be comfortable when I have to make a big purchase because I know I'll have the money for it and it's not destined for me to pay off somebody else still. Um, if someone has a class or a course that I want to take, when I'm debt free, I'll be able to take it freely and happily because I won't have this mountain of debt I still have to worry about paying off. I could sign up for any course I want and pay for it out of pocket, right? Like maybe one of your goals in life is to buy a house, but the first step is getting that debt to be lower so you have a better credit score so they can do all their stuff with a home loan process or whatever. Maybe that's one of the benefits. Well, at the end of 2025, when I no longer have this debt, I could start looking at houses to buy. I could start finding a real estate agent. So think about all the details and good things that are going to come from you overcoming your credit card debt. Get super specific with it. Write it down somewhere, make it your goal, find the action steps. Is she comfy yet? She's trying so hard to find a comfy spot.
He keeps pushing on me with her butt. You just stay
My God,
still
she
for like
is.
5 more minutes.
Right.
Just need 5 minutes.
I'm almost done. We're gonna wrap up right now. Do you have any questions, Katie? I don't need to keep going on. I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. Any questions?
Yeah. No, just that's really why I want to take this is just to come up with better ideas of instead of just like planning, and then hopefully that's what I do for the month. Um, Yeah, looking at the specifics, honestly, just most of it is just like not having that stress to remember to pay a certain amount each month was
Hmm.
one of the
Yes,
specifics that I'm generally
huge.
want.
Love
Yes.
that.
I
Mhm.
love that. That stress of like, oh God, I have to pay somebody. Not there. Not there. So instead of worrying, if you're not worried about your stress of who you owe money to, what are you going to be thinking about instead? That's what I want you to think about. When I'm no longer thinking about who I owe money to, what will you be thinking about?
See, that's what I need to work on because I'm not sure because I've always had that hanging over my head.
Yeah.
Always? It's always been there?
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay. We can explore that a little bit more on week 3. I'm going to do a coaching demo with people. And if you're able to join us live on week 3, that would be an awesome one that we could tackle right there, is how you feel like that's always been a part of your life. And so it's kind of stopping you from being able to think about your life without it, right? Like, what? What would my life be without it? Well, it's, oh, wait, I don't know. I'm going to challenge you to use your imagination because there's no wrong answer. But keep doing this work until next week and the rest of the month and stuff. This is all going to culminate together. And if you have any questions along the way, email me, email Marsha, find us on socials, DM us there. That works too. Um, so yeah, you've got your goal, write your action steps, create a vision board, whatever that looks like for you, some sort of visual representation that breaks down what you're working towards, what that looks like. Cool beans?
Yeah.
All right. Marsha, anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I think you've walked us through a beautiful kickoff in the workshop. Katie, thank you so much for sharing today. I know that this will be recorded and so others will participate in it, but I wanted to thank you for being vulnerable, opening up, and letting us help you in the ways that we can. I look forward to next week. We're going to go through some finance foundations, right? We need those foundation blocks to build the house. We are going to do a Google Sheet on the computer with how to build your own personal budget and what that ratios may look like. And obviously, that is individualized, so everybody's is going to be different. We're going to talk about different budgeting tools. So, Allie, you hit on a few of them earlier. There's phone apps, there's Google, there's Excel, there's good old pen and paper. And finding that tool that works best for you, because Katie, what could work for you is different than me and different than Allie. And so finding that tool that works for you is really the enabler. Consistency is the key. And then I'll have that handout for you and we'll touch a little more on the no spend. So I'm really excited about week 2. We'll dive in, and I'll be here to help and support along the way. All
Awesome.
right.
All
Well,
right.
thank you for your time, ladies.
Yes, thank you, you guys. This was great. Day 1, we're wrapping up, and I will see you next week, next Monday, 11 a.m. To those of you watching later at home, we'll see you next week. Marsha's going to kick us off. You guys have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Bye.